You are now listening to Awaken You with Shelly Bond. Welcome to my show where we explore ourselves. We talk about growth, healing, breath, life, yoga, failures and successes, intuition, inspiration, fears, manifestation, books, writing, motivation, food, parenting, inner child work, mindfulness. What are your thoughts? My love for healing with energy work, learning how to love myself, forgive myself, and know my own self-worth. I have a deep well inside to hold space and connect with women. And I have learned that awakening is for us all, especially for those of us who think that it's not. Waking up to our life's flaws and all is possible because, my friends, life is a practice. It's not a perfect. Welcome, my lovely sisters, to episode 6. I can't believe it. It's really amazing when you just show up and keep showing up how things just go, because time always unfolds. And it's funny how self-doubt tells us we can't do things, but action shows a different story. So here I am showing up again. And I always, before podcasting or sharing on Awaken You Healing Center with Shelly on YouTube, all of the ideas of what I want to share, just like, I get so excited. But something I learned in my yoga teacher training is you can't share everything at once, right? A yoga class, you can't do every single pose. You have to focus. So focus is what I am doing. I'm bringing my awareness to focusing, which is something most of us struggle with. But today I wanted to talk about sisters and like our connections with people and who are your people. I have been super blessed to have sisters. My sisters are my people. We raised each other. There's there's 5 girls and I have 3 brothers. 3 of us sisters are very, very close. Like sometimes people think we're too close, and I don't care what people think. And I've had so many people say, "Oh my gosh, you're so lucky to have sisters like that." And I know that the 3 of us have very specific purposes. And it's funny, some judgers think like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are all exactly the same. You do everything the same." And if you actually knew me and my sisters, we are so different. Like we have commonalities and we all have kids and husbands, and now we all have 2 dogs, which is really funny. That's a lot of dogs. My one sister came up here last weekend with 2 of Jenny's kids, Mimi, and her daughter, my sister Jenny's daughter, was at like a dance conference. So she had to bring Jenny's dogs. There was 6 dogs in my house, plus 2 of Jenny's kids, Mimi's 2 kids, and my 3 kids. Was that a total of 5, 6, 7 kids, 6 dogs, 4 adults, and a partridge in a pear tree. I had to say that. It's like on Home Alone, and a partridge in a pear tree. But I work at my relationship with my sisters. This is so funny. I'm recording my audiobook and I notice when it's like my thoughts aren't there, I'm not keeping focus, or I'm feeling like very vulnerable, my S's slither together. And it's so funny because I have dreamt about recording my audiobook for so many years, and it's actually here. I'm on freaking chapter 12. I don't know if I've recorded 12 or I need to do 12, but I have 21 chapters, which means I'm halfway done. And it's interesting. I notice myself like it's such this mindful practice. And even here, like my S's, and I'll get real slobbery and I get real thirsty. And after talking a while, burps come up, and then I feel like a disgusting human that's like having to pause the audio so my audio engineer isn't hearing me burping and licking my lips and sucking in. Isn't it funny? Like the underlying feelings is self-worth, like not feeling worthy. And 2 episodes ago, I did a whole episode on self-worth. And if you haven't listened to it, it's really freaking good. I actually just listened to it this morning, and I am just like amazed by the message that came out during that podcast. And I want to share it with everyone. So share that episode, listen to it, share it with your sisters, your aunts, your mamas, your girlfriends. Share it, share it, share it. But what I was coming back to was I was talking with my sister Jenny, like, because I make a conscious effort. I make sure I call and connect with my sisters once a day. I just do. It's something that I do, but I don't always get to talk to them. But at least 4 to 5 days a week, I make an effort to talk to them and see how they're doing and how the kids are doing. And they're just my people, and I can rely on them. Like, they're the 2 people the longest, other than my husband, who I can rely on for anything that I ever needed. They are just here for me. And so it was interesting because I was talking with Jenny and telling her all of my ideas, which, if you know me, I'm such this idea seeker. And sometimes I get so excited and I have so many ideas, and right, it can get really hard to land on like which one I'm going to do and which one I'm actually going to follow through and take action. And right now I'm making an app, and it's interesting. So much self doubt when I'm doing this, and anxiety and overwhelm, like thinking, oh my God, I'm not good enough for this. Oh my God, how we're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. All the fucking self doubt is coming up. But then I really think of everything I have to offer. Like, I have so many incredible things to share. Like, I have been through so much, and I have come so fucking far that my self doubt can fuck off. Because when I was talking to my sister and I was going through like all of my ideas for my courses and classes I'm going to offer, but then I found myself thinking, oh gosh, maybe I need to get my 300-hour teacher training to make me a more reputable yoga teacher. And maybe I should become a spiritual coach, which actually I think in the future I'm going to take that training. It sounds amazing because I love growing and learning. And I'm turning this from the self doubt of telling me I'm not good enough, I don't have a foundation enough, to I am good enough and I can still choose to learn and grow. But Jenny was saying, it's just funny how no matter what, it's our self worth that we tell ourselves we're not good enough to do the things. We're not deserving enough to do the things because Jenny is also taking, which I'm so fucking proud of her. She's a mom of 4. Her oldest, Kelton, is 14, and her youngest, Mavie, is 8, going on sassy 16. And which she also is just such a love bug, too. But she is a little snazzy pants who looks so much older than an 8-year-old. I'm like, stop growing, quit wearing mascara. But that's her journey. And Jenny went to school and she became a realtor like 2 years ago. And she was fucking crushing it and being amazing. And then she joined all these teams, and then it just kind of went to shit, and it was too stressful, and it's really expensive to be a realtor. Like, the fees are thousands upon thousands of dollars a year. And it just kind of fizzled out. And she still is an active realtor because, hello, if you're going to sell and buy houses, you can save yourself tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And long story short, she went back to doing hair, which we both did hair eons ago, but she stopped after Kelton was born 14 years ago. So she hasn't done hair forever. Maybe after Stratton was born, so like 13, 12 years ago. and she went back to hair. And it just kind of raised her spirits and got her out of the house because she's a homeschool mama. And I could see like her confidence coming back, and she's been really struggling the last year with health anxiety. Just her brain likes to go to the worst case scenario, and then Google fucks everything up. And she's been struggling. And going back to work for the past, I think it's been 3 months, has been so good for her. She like has detached from like always worrying and always feeling anxious about a ping tingle in her hand or her foot, and then telling herself she has MS, and which is crazy and so hard to fathom, but that is her reality. I've gotten on the phone with her so many times, and like it's so cool because this shows me that I have so much to give and so much to offer, that when she's having one of these anxiety attacks, these like, you can't talk her out of it, but you can get her to, she can do like a meditation to calm her down and offer Reiki and energy work and like move her mind from that worry to the present moment and what's actually happening. And I've been on the phone with her for like an hour doing a meditation and just like bringing her down, right? And there's been miraculous moments where she's able to breathe and just, oh, show up. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. Like, I am a healthy 40-year-old woman. I'm fine. And so she was working, and she has decided that it's just not worth it being away from the kids, and she's doing commission and she's not making that much money, which it takes time. You have to build your clientele. You have to use your own supplies. Like, there's a lot to doing hair and working. I did it for 14 years and I know all about it. But she has just been being open. And years ago, how many years? I'm trying to think of, like 3 years ago, we did two women's retreats with our other soul sister. Her name is Sarah. And it was fucking amazing, my friends. Like, we held space for, I think it was like 18 to 20 women. We put on a full day, 8-hour retreat, and we did meditation and yoga and EFT tapping and hula hooping and just like bringing awareness to your thoughts and what you're thinking and holding space for healing. And it was amazing. And together, me and my sister Jenny and my soul sister Sarah fucking crushed it. And I have to tell you, it was like my all time favorite thing I've ever done. Like, I love being a mom and writing and all the things, but holding space for women and putting on those retreats were like incredible. And I know in my future like that I am meant to be doing retreats. I know that I am, and I'm working on manifesting my healing center, and I've created the space on YouTube. So I have Awaken You Healing Center with Shelly, but I know that like it's so powerful to be together in this collective space of women. And so my sister is becoming a health coach, kind of like a holistic coach. And when we were talking on the phone about my self doubt, and she's like, I'm having the same thing, Shelly. My mind is telling me I'm not good enough to do this. I can't take these tests. It's too hard because it's very structured. Her training is 9 months and all of these modules and quizzes and tests and then practicums and forums and things that she has to do. And I remember experiencing the exact same thing when I went to my yoga teacher training. I'm trying to think of, I think I was 34. It was 4 years ago. Yeah, I was 34, maybe almost 35 when I went. 30, no, I was 34 because that's when my soul sister Hannah passed away. And I remember the morning that I was getting ready for my very first class at my yoga teacher training. And I was having so much anxiety. I was like sweating, and my inner talk was like, "What are you doing, Shelly? You're too old for this. You can't do this. You're not smart enough. You can't, blah, blah, blah." It was like a torrential downpour of shit. And literally 1 week before, I stopped and ended my 14-year hair career that I had mastered. I had amazing clients. I was so confident. I was like, on top of it, crushing it. Like, I had made all of these connections. And then I decided to make the shift. And then it was like, oh my God, I'm doing something brand new. I'm in kindergarten again. And it was so scary. And driving to my yoga teacher training, I remember I was like, Shelly, breathe. You are okay. You can do this. Like, trust and follow your intuition, because I had so many signs and guidance telling me this is where I needed to be. And then I get to the building, open the door, and there's this huge and like super steep set of stairs, like 30 stairs. And I just like gulp the hot lump and all of the resistance. Like, turn around, go home, go back. Your kids need you, Rex needs you, you're spending too much money. Don't do this. And I was like, exhale, walk up the stairs, take a step. Okay, take another one, keep going. And I kept walking and walking, and I got up there and I got into the room where just immense anxiety and nerves. And I just had to sit in this space, and my mind was like running a million miles a minute in my heart, and I was clammy and sweaty. But I fucking did it, and I showed up, and here I am almost 4 years later. Hello, I've been a teacher like of yoga, and I shifted and I connected and made so many incredible connections with my instructors and friends. And because I didn't give up, and because my amazing sisters and another soul sister was like, you can do this. What's stopping you? You can do anything you want to do. And they were so amazing, like my cheerleaders when I was not having confidence and there was so much self doubt. And I would just say to anyone out there, especially women, this podcast, yes, is geared for you, my sisters, to mamas, that when we're trying something new, resistance is completely expected. Like, I would be fucking shocked if you didn't experience immense resistance when you're trying something new, because it's like that fight, flight, freeze response. Like back in the caveman days, like cavemen legitimately had to fight for their lives or freeze and die. But nowadays, it's things like trying something new or like stepping out of our comfort zone that sets that fight, flight, or freeze response. And most of us, I think, want to run away or just fucking freeze. And then we freeze and we're just stuck. We're stuck on autopilot. Like in my book, Awaken You, that I wrote about, like so many of us, I know, especially as a mom, that we are just stuck doing the notions every day. I can remember having this happen to me day after day. I would be washing the dishes, talking, Shelly, you can do it. Washing the dishes, mindlessly staring out of the window, thinking, this is as good as it gets. This is my life. Wow. This is as good as it gets. This is my life. And I would say that like a lot. It was like my fucked up mantra. And I always felt so unfulfilled and so drained. And I remember thinking, right, like back when I was a teenager, that when I would have kids and get married, it would be amazing and miraculous, and I'd be this amazing mom. And I remember I wanted to stop doing hair and be a full-time stay-at-home mom, and then I got to do it, and I was left unfulfilled. I was left feeling overwhelmed and anxious and depressed, and it was fucked up. And even like right before that, I remember doing hair thinking, God, I'm miserable. I don't want to go talk to people and do their hair and pretend to be happy and have to get all beautified and like fake my makeup and my hair and my clothes. And then I would think, it's okay. Just show up and go on autopilot. You're fine. You can do it. Nod your head, smile. You're fine. And that's where I was. Like that's where I was 7 years ago, like staring out of the window. And I remember that we moved to a new house and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to feel amazing in this new house. And at one point, I actually got to live on the same street as my sisters. All three of us lived on the same street. And again, my unrealistic expectation that, oh my gosh, my life is going to be perfect. I'm on the same street as my sisters. I remember we used to love to have drinks together, but I couldn't drink because I had to drive home. So I thought, oh, here we could have drinks and hang out. And then it was funny. I moved there. I went to my yoga teacher training and I really, like, cold turkey stopped drinking. We In the teacher training, we went over the yoga sutras and there was just like such these beautiful entries about just like being clear-minded and clear-headed and allowing yourself to not numb and shove down the pain. And it really resonated with me. And it's been about 4 years, and I have drinks. Like, I'll have a drink. If I have two drinks, I am like, whoa, party. But I always get a headache. I get like a headache from the alcohol. And like one is fine, but maybe like once or twice a month. And it was so funny, my false perception of wanting to like hang out with my sisters. And I move on the street with my sisters, and still, I'm in this brand new house, lovely. Like, I remember buying that house. I'm trying to think of how much it was, like $375,000. And I was like, holy fuck, I can't believe that we bought this house. Oh my gosh, we're like rich, we're living it up. And I remember I felt like, wow, like I have arrived, like I'm on this rich people street. I was feeling like woo woo. And then I remember washing the dishes once again, staring out the window, thinking, this is as good as it gets. Here I am, once again, washing the dishes. My kids are in school. I have to clean the house. Wah, and I just felt like that feeling of like, fuck, this is my life. What? I thought it was supposed to be more. But, like, it could have been more, but I never allowed it to be. I just was stuck. I was stuck. I was stuck there. And again, even having my sisters across the street, I didn't even see them as much as I thought because it was just like everyday life. Like, can you watch the kids? Well, I have a dentist appointment, or I'm going to go to Target. You want to come? Like, maybe we would go to the store together, or we would have dinners and things. But what I'm saying is that it wasn't this perfect life that I thought I was going to have. And then they ended up building a cell tower point 2 miles, which from the houses, our houses, which means you're in the fucking red zone. It's like you're living in a microwave of radiation when you're that close to a cell tower, and it fucks up kids. It's really horrible for you. Even though the cell phone companies, like, we went to all of these meetings to protest against it. Oh, they just have so much money and they don't give a fuck about kids and ruining their cells. So, long story short, we moved. We moved because we didn't want our kids growing up in a microwave. We didn't want them growing up with that high of levels of EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, radiation poisoning pretty much in the red zone. And then we moved away. And then again, it was like an even more profound sadness. And then here I was in another lovely house that house I think cost now $400,000. We slowly just kept bumping up. Our first house we bought, my husband and I, when we were 23 and 24, and it was $199,000. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I can't believe that I live in this fucking fancy house. It was a brand new house. But it's so crazy over the years, just like slowly progressing and then living in this lovely, beautiful suburbia house, which is so funny. It was the same builder, the exact same model of the house. Not exact same, maybe 75% similar to my sister's house that we ended up buying. And again, I thought, oh my gosh, I have the new house. I love my house. It's gorgeous. The best house, like, at that time that I ever lived in. And again, it was like staring out the window. is this as good as it gets? Isn't that funny? Over the years, just like slowly. And I was still writing my book. I was teaching online yoga classes at the time. My online platform was Yoga Bliss with Shelly, and it just has kind of stayed stagnant. And I'm realizing now it's because of self worth. It's because of self doubt, because I'm like, I'm not worthy of people following me. I'm not worthy of this and that. And it's interesting. So, again and again and again, my husband has owned a company up in Estes Park. He's an electrical contractor, and he's been trying to get me to move up here for like 10 years. And I'm always like, no, 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 no. And finally, a year and 9 months ago, we did it. And it was scary because I didn't want to leave my sisters. They were my people. And I was really scared. And I'm up here and I found two new soul sisters because the universe will provide. The universe will bring what we need. And it was during COVID. Like, who meets two of their soul sisters during COVID? Me, I did. And I still have my sisters and I connect with them. And it's so interesting because I thought living on the same street as my sisters was going to be my perfect dream life. Like, and we had some times and days and moments that were fucking awesome. I remember we lived on a not super busy street and we had neighbor friends and we would listen to music and hula hoop in the street. And it was so fun. And that, like, I can think to those moments and I loved that. I loved the hula hooping with my sisters. But now I hula hoop with my sisters and it's more of a connected time because it's more intentional. I live an hour away and now we have sleepovers and we spend more connected time than we did when we lived 10, 15, or a 5-second walk across the street because we are more intentional. And even our phone calls, we FaceTime and like we share our shit, we share our struggles. And that is the most important thing about having a sisterhood with your girlfriends, with anyone, is that you have to be open enough to share your shit and not just your happy, fluffy moments. I'm going to take a drink of my tea. Thank you, tea. I love this tea. This is my favorite right now. It's the Yogi green tea mixed with the positive, sweet energy tangerine. I'm taking a break 1 second and reading these to you. The first one says, oh, perfect. Friendship is a gift that lasts. Very good. And I love these quotes. Okay, my other one says, know the unknown, hear the unheard, and see the unseen. Interrosto. It is interesting, right? That the lies that we have fed ourselves up until today, they have helped us, maybe. They've protected us. But it's time to do an unmasking. It's time to be a seeker of the fucking truth. I feel like we stay stuck, we stay living in lies because it's easy and it's comfortable. But where has that gotten us, sisters? It's gotten us staring out the fucking window saying, this is as good as my life gets. It has us stuck living on autopilot. It has us stuck in anxiety, stuck in overwhelm, stuck in feeling like we're not good enough, we're not deserving. Fuck that. Like, we deserve better. We deserve a better life. We deserve to show up even when it's overwhelming. I find myself this week, I, I have so many things, and it's my own fault. I create all of this for myself. Like, we all do. We all create our issues in our minds. That's where it comes from because we put ourselves up on have such these high standards for ourselves. Like me, I'm podcasting here. I'm so grateful. I'm taking a break on my Voice is Rising podcast. And then I blog, which I've been taking a break from because I'm so overwhelmed. I'm supposed to be writing my memoir, but I haven't. I'm recording my book. I've started a business, but my business has been at a little standstill. My sales have been dwindling, but even though fucking self-doubt is coming up, I know that businesses go up and down, and I know that my feelings of worth go up and down, right? My thoughts about my business and my ability to make money are like, I I had this stint, which might not sound like a lot to people, but I haven't really made an income in 4 years because I've decided that my husband is the breadwinner. But I have decided now today that fuck that. Like, I'm grateful for you, babe. I love your money. You're amazing. You're abundant. But I want to make money. I do. I have this, like, I want to attract money from me. I want to create income. And I crushed it. In it was about 2 weeks, I raised the $1,200 that I set out, that I put a goal that I was going to make my money to record my audiobook and have it engineered. I made it in 2 weeks. I made that $1,200. What? Like, what? That's amazing. And then it was like this slow progression. Then the next week I made like 600, and then it was like I made 700, and then 200 and 300. And last week I sold one mala, $111. And I mean, that's not counting all of the money I'm putting out, right? You think of, you have a business, and even though it's small, I'm doing it professionally, and all of the money I'm making, I'm also putting back in. So I have created labels, and I'm really excited because I got packaging, and I love turquoise. It's like the color of healing the heart and the throat chakras. And I found these lovely turquoise padded envelopes and this really amazing biodegradable paper to wrap the malas in because they're crystals. And I was having this mailing center do it, but it was costing me $16 to wrap up one mala and ship it. And then the waste, like they put peanuts and they wrapped it in bubble wrap and tape. And it was so wasteful. And I realized where I order my crystals from, they only wrap it in one layer of bubble wrap and they put it in just like a very, very thin United States post office. It's not even a box, it's like a paper box. And I ordered like 20 strands and not one of them broke. So I've realized that I can minimize my packaging and it looks lovely. And I also bought a set of Gabby Berenstein, The Universe Has Your Back cards, like her affirmation cards that are amazing. So I'm so excited because inside of the each order someone makes, they get these lovely little burlap pouches, and those ones are actually turquoise. Turquoise it up, sister. My first round was just like a really muted tan, but I just love the turquoise. So this is what my people get. Um, this is all over the place. It's fine, Shelly. You are fine. You're doing great. I'm doing fucking great. And when I package, so you get on top of, I need to like back it up because I'm so excited about sharing this. But where this started was it's not all about money, right? I think my mind was getting so focused that this is for, well, I need to be making my prosperity and finding my worth in money. The worth of this, a whole value of me creating Awaken You Malas is to be helping women. I'm helping women heal. I'm helping them soothe anxiety. I'm helping through energy work. Like, it's fucking amazing. And it's not all about the money. Ah, it feels good to say that. Like, I was like craving, I'm craving to make this income. But I realized when I obsess and it's like coming from this desperation. The the actual premise of making these malas is to help fucking people. It's not to make money. Like, yes, that is amazing. It's this energy trade. But I'm here helping women. And that's where I need to come back to. It's like, come back here, Shelly. Like, come back to helping and the money will come. I know it will come. So it's so fucking amazing because, say, someone has a custom order and I ask, what are your struggles? And some women are really open. Like, I had one woman I didn't even know, and she sent me like 10 minutes of her struggles on a voice message that was so amazing. I didn't talk to her, but we were sending a message back and forth on Facebook, and she just shared her heart and she cried, and I could feel what she needed. I knew it. So then I found the crystals and the stones that would have the healing properties to help her. And then I intuitively design, hand strung, hand tied. And then I'm so excited because I created this kind of like an energy clearing ceremony because I have all of the energy aligned for whoever needs it. But crystals and malas absorb energy. So mine or my kids or my husband or wherever it was shipped from. So I do this ceremony where I lay them all out on the table and then I sage them, I cleanse the energy. I use selenite, which is a clearing crystal. Zoom, 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 clear the energy. A singing bowl, which I think I have in here. Oh, I did have it. No, my daughter. My daughter keeps taking the singing bowl. It's fine. I use my singing bowl, cleanse the vibrations, and then I tap into healing and love, and then I know intuitively that the energy will be here in these pieces for who exactly who needs it. Right? I just trust. I know that every piece that I make is intended for a specific person. And even if I don't know at the time, I know that manifestation, attraction, the laws of attraction will attract the right person. And then I finish with a sun bath. And I put them out in the sun and the beautiful fresh mountain air, birds chirping. Finally, I've heard birds because spring is here, mountain spring. And then, yeah, and then my shipping, my packaging that I was telling you about. And then I wrap it up. Oh, wait, first back it up. So then I put it in a pouch and then I give a gift of a small little selenite little wand. And then they get a Gabby Berenstein, The Universe Has Your Back card. And I just intuitively pick or have Junie pick. And I've actually hired Junie because she's such an intuitive spirit. And she is helping me either string a mala or taking pictures. And then she picks the card because she is like a wonder with tarot cards and affirmation cards. So she picks because she's so intuitive and knows, puts that, and then sends it off, right? So, where I'm getting at is no matter what the self doubt is telling me, that fuck all of that because I'm doing it and I'm connecting with women and I love it. Like, there's so much care in every package that I'm creating. And I actually just sold one to this incredible old friend who was at one of my sister's births and who actually trained me to do hair. Freaking, I'm like 15. I did hair for 14, 18 years ago. And she was so sweet. And the message that she gave back to me and the feedback was like, you went over and beyond. I am so impressed with your packaging and the cards. Like, thank you so much. I can tell you put so much care into this. And that right there, I am so grateful. So it doesn't matter if I was killing it and crushing it and making bank, bank, bank the first few weeks. And last week, whatever the sales were down, I connected with one person. And right, even one person. And then, oh my gosh, here's another miraculous moment and a connection from a soul sister from forever and a year ago that even I had to like remember how I knew her. But she lives in Wisconsin now. And I hung out with her back in my drunken days where I would smoke a lot of weed and I was a waitress and just was on a very dark path. But now she's a mom and she works at a library and she reached out to me and said, "Guess who is buying your book for her library?" And I thought, oh, that's so exciting. Like, thank you so much for buying my book for your library. And I didn't realize she works for a library. And I'm trying to think of if she said she has a budget to buy 30 of my books. It was either 20 or 30, either way. 20 of my books to put in the library that she works at. Ah! What? See, abundance, again, it comes in different avenues. And I've spent years of my life crafting and creating and making my book. And it's here and it's here. But it's interesting. I get online and I'm like checking my dashboards and I was crushing it with my sales and now they're down. And then the feelings of unworth, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm here showing up and I'm reading my audiobook and I have to say, fuck off, unworth. Because when I read it, it makes me want to bawl and it makes me feel motivated and I'm inspired. And I know that big or small, my book, my malas, the work I'm putting out is reaching exactly who it needs to reach. And even though my ego comes in and says all of the bullshit, that it doesn't matter because my heart work, my mission is deeper. And coming back to more soul sister connections, a woman who was at my birth with Milo. And if you are interested, I was ballsy enough to share my birth with Milo and my birth with Jack on my YouTube channel, which I don't even know back then when I shared it. The channel was called Storybook Sisters, but my birth is there. And it was a crazy birth story. I had a C section with Junie, my first, and 2 years and 2 months later to the day, Milo was born a home birth, but my water broke and I almost was sent to the hospital. And I didn't want to go to the hospital because it was very traumatic and I wanted a birth on my terms. And I had an incredible nurse practitioner, midwife who supported me. And so if you want to watch that, it's on my now Awaken You Healing Center with Shelly, which it's funny when I look at the analytics, my births have insane like 40 to 70,000 views. People love watching birth stories. And it's always funny. People who thumbs down my birth, I'm like, why would you do that? I don't even care. Let it go. The haters are always going to hate. But where I'm getting at is a woman, her name was Shay. She was at my birth, and I haven't really connected with her lately. But my sister and I made her a mala and gave it to her. And long story short, I got to do Reiki on her remotely this week. Like it just happened. She texted me and said, "Are you available by any chance? I'm alone." She has 5 kids. She lives in Texas. She's been afraid of doing Reiki. She has some trauma. We all have trauma. And I think she's scared of Reiki, but she was open to it. And I haven't really been practicing Reiki on anyone other than my kids or my husbands or my sisters or really close friends. And right, a soul sister connection, a woman who was at my birth, who was so positive and an amazing part of my life 10 years ago, that this week, a few days ago, I got to do Reiki on her. And it was really fucking amazing. And I know that people can be skeptical, thinking, how can you do something when you're not with someone? Well, it's a spiritual thing, right? It's a spiritual connection. Reiki is an energy thing. I learned it in my master's class, which think of anything. Think of somebody who's struggling and you pray for them or you send them love or you like think of a mom you see on the news who lost her baby. You can send her love. You can connect with her. And it gives me goosebumps because people who pray for other people, like it works, it creates shifts, and it's the same with energy work. And it was so amazing because, again, another one of these soul sister connections. So I'm like, on my hand this week, I'm thinking of all of the connections with soul sisters that I've had that I wouldn't have deemed as like anything, maybe if I was in my days of staring out of the mirror, like, this is as good as it gets. That like mantra I was playing. And now I'm like, you know what? I am open. I am open to whatever life is giving me. And then it was funny too. Blah, 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 blah. Another one that I'm thinking of was a mama that her daughter went to school with Milo back when we lived down in the valley. And she messaged me to see if there was snow because her daughter was on spring break. And then she said something like, I told her how old the kids were and where we were and what was going on. She's like, I know, I've been following you. And she's like, your book, a podcast, malas, I don't know how you do it all. And I thought, like, I just do what I'm called to do. Like, overwhelm and anxiety will stop me, but I'm just doing what I'm called to do. So the whole message behind today is be open. be open to what life is giving you, right? In those moments when anxiety and overwhelm is like crushing you, be open to asking for help or finding support from sisters. And I wrote about this in my book about who are your beacons of light. A lot of times, my sisters are my beacons of light. And sometimes my beacons of light are my dogs, or sometimes my kids, or sometimes even a stranger. Like, or sometimes it's just stopping through all of the overwhelm and chaos and watching the sun. Or I am just like in awe of gratitude for where I live. I have a full panoramic mountain view out of my front window that at any second I go there, I inhale, I drink a cup of tea in the morning, and I look out and I want to almost bawl with gratitude and joy because it's so fucking beautiful. And in moments, that is my beacon of light. So know that whatever you're going through, no matter what overwhelm, if your mind is fucking struggling to find focus, if you feel lost or drowning in your kids and diapers in your home, you are not alone. I am right here with you. And there are hundreds of millions, if not billions, of people on the planet going through your struggles. People of the past have gone through what you have gone through, and it might not be exactly the same, but there is someone who has been in your shoes. That, right, there's always someone worse off than us, and there's always someone better off 10,000 steps ahead of us. And where we have to stop is that comparison. And we have to just be so grateful for today and where we are. And no matter what the self doubt and the judgment is telling you, we can be here today and fucking show up no matter what. Show up on the overwhelming days, and then there will be perhaps moments where you can pause and look outside and be grateful that you are alive, grateful that you have maybe a roof above your head, or grateful that you have people in your life that love you and care about you no matter what. That if you're a mom, that you have these humans that are looking up to you every moment. And yeah, we can allow the overwhelm in moments take us over, but we have to fucking change something. We have to do something different. Like we have to create something different for ourselves to create a different life for our kids. Because I think of my daughter and I don't want her staring out of the window thinking, is this as good as it gets? I don't want that for her. And I don't get to control if that is what happens to her, but I will fucking know that I have done my best to help her live her best life and support her in being the best person that she can be. So, my sisters, know that it's so good to have someone like that in our lives that can help us keep accountable. Like, I'm going to do this thing that's overwhelming and scary for her. I'm going to do this for my son. I'm going to do this because I want a better tomorrow for the girls of the future. I want a better tomorrow. I want a better tomorrow. And I want to leave this world better than it was. And I want to impact the people in my lives in a positive way because we all know those relationships that are like draining and energy sucking that you never want to hang out with that person that is like that. I don't want to be that person. And I fucking do my best to not be because I am the change I wish to see in the world. And big or small, no matter what your self doubt says, like, I'm not like this person or I'm not achieving this. Achieve what you can today in your realistic world. So if you're a stay at home mom, what does being better look like in your house today? Is it doing the dishes, cleaning up? Is it wiping the crumbs out of the cabinets? Is it folding a basket of laundry and fluffing your pillows so it feels better for you, so it helps eliminate stress, right? Stuff and clutter, stress and overwhelm us. When we can take control of our house, we can take control of our minds and our emotions. I've shared I think every podcast I've shared on here talks about the power of our thoughts. And know, my beautiful sisters, that no matter what you are experiencing, you can choose to change it. You don't have to wait for then. You don't have to wait for someone to do something, or for the vacation or the dog or the kid or the house, because those inevitably will leave you with feelings of unworth, or they will let you down. They will let you down. You will feel let down. It will happen. I promise. But if you do something today for yourself, if you take time for you, or take time to work at being better, right, things will shift. But nothing will change if we don't change. And there's so many things you can do. And if you were interested in going deeper, my book, Awaken You From Pain to Healing, A Woman's Way of Waking Up to Her Life, has it has my story, it has how I've grown, and it has ways that can connect you to being a better you and to shifting things in your life. And this is something I'm learning, that sharing your gifts and talents with the world is not like salesy and you're not trying to rip people off. Sharing your gifts with people is you helping, and by you helping, people want to help you back. People want to trade energy and money with you because you have value. Like, my book is valuable. It's $15.55 on Amazon, and it has so much value. Like, there's so much more value than $15. I feel like it has like $1 million worth of value. And that's not like this cheapy salesperson within me. I'm actually reading this amazing book right now called Meant for More by, oh my gosh, is it? Dang it. I will have to double check that, and I'll write it in the notes. It's like Sasavich. I can't remember. Kristen Sasavich. I may be wrong. She is amazing. And it starts out with her talking about, that was my foot popping, if you were wondering. Her mom died at a younger age, and she knew that she was meant for more. And it just so resonated with me. And we are all meant for more. We're not meant to be staring out of the window aimlessly thinking, oh my God, my life, like, I'm miserable. I'm so anxious. I can't wait until I can have a glass of wine or a beer tonight. Oh my God, we're not meant for that. We're meant for more. Lisa Sasevich, I think. I'm going to double check 1 second. Yes, Lisa Sasevich. That we are meant for more. We are meant for big things. It is just us getting in our own way. It's the way we think about things that is running our lives. So it's time to create new ways of thinking and new ways of connecting, and knowing that there is a sisterhood all around you. There are women available. They are. I mean, there are a lot of catty women, but you don't have to attract those women. We attract the kind of people and energy that we put out. So, yes, if you are putting out gossip and hate and judgment, those are the type of women you will attract. However, if you're putting out authenticity and sharing your shit and just being real, those are the women you will connect with. And know that there is a sisterhood of women just waiting for you. Your beacon of light is on the way. Put out the vibe, put out the thought. I am open to attracting a woman who I can connect with on a heart level, who I can share my shit with, who I can connect with, who I can inspire, who I can grow with spiritually, mentally, emotionally. It was so interesting. I was meeting for my audiobook, and his lovely wife was saying how she struggles, like, meeting women like me and my other soul sister for my publishing house. And it's funny because it's true that we can stay stuck and stagnant, and we can just keep attracting the same type of people. But if we are open to change, if we are open to the possibility of new relationships in our lives, they will come. I promise you, it is fucking possible. I've attracted endless amounts of soul sisters, of women who are not like, it's not just this superficial hangout. For the first time in my life, two of my most dear soul sisters, we don't even hang out and drink together. I don't even barely drink anymore. We hang out and we have women's circles and we meditate together and we practice yoga and we clear each other's energy and we share poetry. We write letters to each other or ourselves and then share it to each other. Like we have this deep soul sister connection. And I would encourage you that start a sisters circle or start a women's group and just do it with someone that you know that you can grow with. And these women's circles, don't make them a drinking, hanging out time. This is a grow time. Like I say, no alcohol. This is tea time and hang out and grow time. And I know at first I might say like, that's not even going to be fun. It's so fun and the energy is so elevated. Oh my gosh, I was going to keep this episode 30 minutes. We're almost an hour. Dang, I had a lot to say today. So I just want to say thank you so much for showing up here. And I'm so grateful to be here in this space and to say all of the things that is on my heart and mind. And I know that even if this message or one thing reaches out to you or connects with you, that I will know that I have done my purpose of today. Because my purpose is this. Like, I really believe our purpose shifts from moment to moment. And your purpose isn't just one thing. Like, if you're a mom, it's not. My purpose is only to raise my kids. Because I've known people, I remember having clients that their kids graduated, moved out, went off to college, and they felt like, I have nothing left. I have no purpose. I haven't worked in 18 years. Your purpose is whatever you are doing. And even if you are in that boat where your kids are off and you're feeling lost and you have no experience, you have gifts and talents. This amazing book, Meant for More, from Lisa Sasevich, she will help you find your worth. And at first, it is a little like, oh my gosh, like, I do. Do I have that? I don't know. You question. No, we all were meant for more. You have a purpose, you have a special gift. And it doesn't have to be that you have this degree or lack thereof to have value and worth to bring to the world. You have value and worth, especially if you were a stay-at-home mom or are. Are you fucking kidding me? You're like a house manager. You're a cook. You're an organizer. You're a delegator. You have a degree that is beyond a master's, right? You've gone to however long you've been a mama, like that is your degree. And if you don't find worth in that, I will tell you that you are worthy and you are smart and capable and incredible. And everything you've done throughout your life has got you to this moment, Every pain, everything you have endured, every experience, every heartache, every joyful moment has built you into the woman you are today. And you are incredible. Even if you don't know it, I know it. I see it. I feel it. And I want to invite you to explore, to get curious about the wonderful human that you are and what you are capable. You have to know it. You have to think it to start believing it. I love you, my sisters. And I'm so excited because on Awaken You Healing Center with Shelly, I actually offered my first women's sisters circle. So if it sounds scary to make your own circle, be a part of mine because I am like setting this goal. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm manifesting an actual physical healing center. I legitimately live right near the Rocky Mountain National Park. It's gorgeous where I live. I love retreats, right? All of the things I was sharing with you about doing retreats, women's retreats, I'm meant for it. I'm meant for more. I know I'm meant to do that because the feelings that when I think about it, I can feel how exciting and how incredible and connected I was. So I'm starting to do the things I want to do in my real healing center online. So there is a women's circle that I'm going to offer once a month because we need to take time to connect and to grow. In this specific women's circle, we do a meditation practice and we actually learn how to do energy work on ourselves because no matter what you believe or don't believe that we all have a capability of healing ourselves. Think of an injury and how over time it usually heals. Like some things, yes, they need surgery. Think of a cut or a broken bone. It's not the splint, or yes, the stitches help hold it together, but your body is the thing doing the healing. Your body is mending back the tendons and ligaments and muscles and healing, bringing that bone back together. It's your body. Your body is the healing instrument. You are a healing instrument. We are all healing instruments. So in this women's circle, we do a practice on helping heal our inner wounds, our emotional wounds, our energetic wounds. And we do that. It's really awesome. And it's the way I do Reiki is different. I've kind of created my own type of Reiki where it's like meditation meets energy work because, right, our minds get so messy. The meditation helps guide you while you're doing the healing work. And then we have a little bit of movement, a little yoga, nothing super crazy. And then a self care practice, a journaling practice to help you grow and be better. And it's wonderful. And I'm excited. And I think it's like a 30-minute group. When I meet with my soul sisters, we meet for 2 to 4 hours. So you might think, oh God, 30 minutes? What are we going to do? So many things. In my real retreat center, my friends, we will be meeting in our women's circle for 4 hours once a month. That is what will happen. That will go down. And I'm looking up, I have this lovely prayer flag, actually, another soul sister gave me, and it says, the universe conspires in your favor. I actually wish that it said inspires because the word conspires has such a low vibration. So maybe it's the universe inspires in your favor. And there's another thing that it says, I'm looking up, this is the message we need to hear. Everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. I love you, my sister. I'm so grateful for you. Please connect with me on Facebook under Shelly Bond, Instagram, Awaken You with just Awaken You, Shelly Bond. And join me in my sisters group. I'm posting that today, this will be for next week. So it will be out. And I'm so excited. I love you. I'm so grateful. Keep showing up, keep being you, and know that your beacon of light, that your sisterhood, it is available. All you have to do is open to the possibility. I love you. I will be back here hanging out with you next week, my sisters. I send you a hug and a kiss on the cheek. I love you.